So really, really sorry to hear that you're still being treated there. I hope you're getting better. That's the main thing. I really hope you're getting better. And then Julie, hi, also from Yorkshire. Nikki, hi, everyone from Anglesey. It must be nice, Anglesey. For those of you who don't know, Anglesey is an island off the northwest of Wales. Very beautiful. It's got puffins on Anglesey. That's what I know. That's exciting. And then Martin's letting us know about how he does running. Amazing. So yes, I have a guide runner who I run with regularly. We are tethered together and he gives me instructions on where we're going. Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing enough to run. Even more amazing to run up hills, and then even more amazing to have the guide runner. Fantastic. How wonderful that must be for you, Martin, to get out running. And Juanita's saying, thank you, just a different infection now. So it's no longer pneumonia, but a different infection. But still, that's been many weeks you've been in hospital, Juanita. I remember you joined one of our sessions. I was really impressed, and you had one of those great big masks on, and you came to the session from your hospital bed. Amazing. Well, as you are tonight as well. Yeah, amazing. Lorian, hello from Southern California. It's so wonderful to be here with you all. And Anita and Steph, hi from us in Bedford, sitting in blankets following a good session swimming, open bracket, in a pool, close bracket. So just letting us know it's not been wild swimming in the sea or in a river. Probably getting a bit too cold for that. Okay, I'll stop yabbering on now. I'll turn off the chat box so I won't see anything else that's coming in, so that I can concentrate on leading the meditation, which is why we're here. Yeah, so really big welcome, everybody, whether it's morning or evening or middle of the day. It's just wonderful that you've chosen to come here and meditate with us all together in this lovely community. And yeah, I feel very happy to be here with you all tonight. So I thought tonight we'd do a meditation that I've called it. I was thinking about it earlier. I'm calling it From Fighting to Flowing. From fighting to flowing. So it's resting very deeply inside the fact that everything is fluid and changing, even though it can appear to be very kind of rigid and stuck and solid. If we reflect, we realize that the nature of experience is change and flow. And even our bones are completely replaced every 7 years, which is remarkable because, of course, bones feel very, very solid. But there are loads of cells, all very dynamic. There's blood flowing, cellular change, and there's a complete regeneration process that takes place over about 7 years, I believe. And I called it From Fighting to Flowing because, of course, very often we fight with our experience, particularly things that are unpleasant. And, you know, a lot of us are probably here for this practice because we want to have this space because we feel we're in need of resourcing in some kind of a way, or we've got pain or stress or some kind of difficulty. And as we know from the Breathworks approach, you know, if you've got a difficulty and then you contract against it, you just get more and more layers of suffering, more and more layers of tension, holding, rigidity. And that leads to a less happy existence, a less happy existence. And if we can learn to just keep on resting back, yielding, releasing, and flowing, then not only does our experience become easier and, you know, possibly more pleasant, we may still have unpleasant sensations, but it will probably be more pleasant because there'll be less of these secondary layers of holding, contraction, stuckness, and so on. But the other thing is we become stronger. So this is one of the points I really want to make this evening, is that flowing is a very strong way to be, because it may sound like if we're tight and rigid, that's strong, and we're sort of defended, that's strong. And to be soft and yielding is weak or weaker. But there's this gorgeous, gorgeous quote from Lao Tzu great Chinese master, that I'll read, which tells us that the opposite is the case. And he's using the analogies of water and rock. So rock is like something that's appears to be very strong. It's hard, and water is fluid and flowing and yielding. Now, I'm getting before I do this, there's a chat from Ed asking a question. What's Ed asking? Who knows how to turn off the chat box? What you do, Ed, is down the bottom, if you click on the chat and it comes up, you'll get the screen. And if you go to the very top of the chat box, there's a little arrow. And you click on that little arrow and you get the close option. So if you want to turn off the chat box, that's if you're on a desktop. And then someone's hearing background noise and someone's hearing an echo. So Ollie, are you there in the background? Ollie, our host.
Yes.
Has the sounding okay to you?
It sounds okay to me.
There's not an echo, because it could be at Paul's end as well, or Peter's end. Maybe some other people could just pop in the chat box whether the sound's working for you, or whether there's background noises and echo. So we could just get a bit of feedback from other people. So they were hearing all the pings, Ollie, when people enter. Yeah, so maybe Ollie, you could turn off the pinging. That's a Zoom thing, that when people enter the room, we get a little ping to alert us. And I thought only the hosts heard that. Oh, I know, it's because I've got my volume turned up. Let me turn my volume down. So you're hearing the pings on my computer. Okay, good. That's because I got a new computer today. Okay, good. So no more pings. That must have been very annoying for you all. Sorry about that. As we were. Good. It's quite funny. I thought only I could hear those. And yeah, they are slightly annoying, but I was bearing with them. But you all joined in. Okay, so I'm glad that you're not going to hear the pings with the wonderful words of Lao Tzu, because that would be very wrong to have modern pings over Lao Tzu. So here's what he's got to say. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is another paradox. What is soft is strong. Okay, I'll read that again. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is another paradox. What is soft is strong. So that's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, I think. So in the practice tonight, we'll start now, we're going to see if we can release some of our rigidity, some of our contraction, some of our sort of bracing against life, and yield into experience, and see if we can touch into the strength that comes out of that. And it's very interesting. A lot of Eastern martial arts work on this principle. Things like Aikido. If you've got someone coming at you, you learn to deflect the attacker and stay very strong and not oppose their energy. So it's all the same kind of principle. Okay, so if we get ourselves set up in our position, so it'll be a breathing, body, yielding, flowing meditation tonight. And we'll look for this yielding, flowing quality in the body, but also in the mind and also emotionally. So choosing your position, as always, Really asking yourself, how do I want to position my body for the next 20 minutes? What's going to enable me to be alert and yet relaxed, or as alert as possible and as relaxed as possible given our situation? And so you can lie down, you can sit, you can stand, or you can do slow walking. Could be interesting doing slow walking to get the sense of flowing. Just walk up and down the room. It's really completely up to you. So let's allow the weight of the body to rest down onto the chair. If we're sitting, onto the bed or the floor, if we're lying down, onto the surface through the feet, if we're standing or walking. Just beginning to arrive and to settle. And if you want to, as always, taking a few deeper in-breaths and then really release on the out-breath. Just letting go of whatever we've just been doing or worrying about the future, and arriving here in each present moment. And then allowing your breathing to settle and to find its own natural rhythm. In the out breath, flow all the way out, and the in breath, flow back in its own time. And having a sense of yielding the weight of the body up to the support of the surface it's resting upon, whatever position we've chosen. Very often we kind of rigidify in the body, the heart, the mind. So we're not yielding into support, but we're kind of perched on support. See if you can feel the difference between yielding into support and perching on support. Settling, resting, receiving the support. Allowing our awareness to drop deep inside the body. Feeling into the contact between the body and the support. The sensations at the contact, if we've got sensations. That's a more energetic sense of resting. Allowing our awareness to pour down inside the legs, all the way into the feet and the toes. And seeing if we can be right inside, so we're not thinking about the legs, feet and toes, or looking at them from the outside, but we're inhabiting them with awareness. Excuse me. And you'll know this either through sensation or contact with your clothes or the surface. Or if you can't feel your legs and feet for any reason, then how can you invite your awareness down inside and have a sense of presence, sense of energetic presence, even if you can't feel it directly? Allowing this to spread to both legs, both feet, all the toes. And if there's intense sensations or unpleasant sensations, Just noticing if you rigidify against them, harden against them. If you notice that without any judgment, just being glad that you've noticed it, that's your mindfulness practice. Seeing if you can yield a little bit and allow the sensations to flow rather than being stuck or static in your perception. Coming to the buttocks and the hips. So if we're sitting, feeling the contact with the chair. If you're lying down, feeling the contact with the bed or the floor. If you're standing, allowing the buttocks to be soft as best you can. And now allowing our awareness to flow up into the lower half of the torso. It's like this is becoming full of awareness. So there's the belly at the front. And there's the lower back at the back. And there's the sides. And seeing if we can allow this part of the body to be massaged by breathing. So there's a very gentle swelling on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. Allowing the organs to be massaged. Effortless, not forcing or straining. Just letting it be the natural breath as we yield, as we settle, as we allow breathing to drop deeper in the body. If at any point breathing becomes unpleasant, uncomfortable, you can always stabilize by shifting your awareness into the contact between the body and the floor. And edging back to breathing when you're ready, if you want to. Allowing our awareness now to fill up into the upper part of the torso as well. So we're still aware of the legs, hips, buttocks, lower part of the torso, but now it's as if the awareness is just filling up, and now it's filling up the upper part of the torso, the chest at the front, the upper back, middle back, diaphragm. And again, there's this rhythm of breathing in all directions, opening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. Expanded to aware of the whole torso together, 360-degree breathing. Opening, subsiding, opening, subsiding. Effortless, not forcing or straining, and always yielding into the support. The shoulders. So allowing the hands to be supported, just checking in on this. So if we're sitting, having the hands on the legs or the lap. If we're lying down, having the hands either on the body, palms downwards, or at the sides of the body, palm upwards. If we're standing or walking, having the hands, having the arms and the hands just resting. And now coming back to the shoulders and allowing the shoulders to fall away into gravity. So falling away from the midline of the body. Very often we rigidify in the shoulders. We hold on to the arms with effort. But right now, we don't need to hold on to the arms. The hands are supported, so the arms can release, shoulders can release. And allowing breathing to express itself in the shoulders, effortless. Not doing anything, just this echo in the shoulders, maybe a very subtle opening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. And allowing our awareness to pour down inside the arms all the way to the fingers and the thumbs. I always imagine that awareness is a little bit like water, and my arms, hands, fingers, thumbs are becoming saturated and drenched, just like a sponge gets completely full of water if you put it in a sink of water. A bit like my arms are just full of awareness in the same way, or my awareness is resting inside the awareness in my arms. Maybe there's even some very subtle echo of breathing all the way down into the hands. Now allowing our awareness to flow up through the shoulders, through the arms and shoulders, into the neck and the head. So if we're sitting, checking the position of the head. See if we can let it be poised on top of the neck, having the chin tucked in just a tiny bit, releasing through the base of the skull and yet openness in the throat. If we're lying down, yielding the weight of the head up. If we're walking or standing, again, just poise, allowing the head to be poised on top of the neck. You might want to make a few tiny little movements just to adjust it, find that point of release. And allowing our awareness to pour all the way up into the head, the whole face soft, the jaw soft, yielding, pliable, tongue soft, and letting the brain be soft inside the head. The brain can definitely feel very rigid at different times, just full of thoughts, like a rock. But let's let the brain soften. It is a soft organ. Having a sense of it just yielding down into its cradle of bones deep inside the head. And now broadening our awareness to be aware of the whole body all together. This thing we call body as if it's a static object. Let's rest inside and experience it as a verb. This process of embodying moment by moment. Lots of different sensations showing up in different parts of the body, perhaps. Some pleasant, some unpleasant, some dull. Or maybe we can't feel sensations for whatever reason. Seeing if we can get some other sense of the body, some energetic sense of the body. And the breathing is flowing like water in and out. And seeing if we can let our thoughts flow likewise and our emotions flow likewise. Every moment when we get an experience of stuckness, just yielding back into the support, yielding back into flow again and again. Find yourself wandering off in the moment where you notice you've wandered. Is your moment of mindfulness, is your moment of success, and then you have the choice to simply guide your awareness back inside this flow of experience again and again, always grounded, yielding, resting. Now, for the last couple of minutes, let go of any effort whatsoever and just rest. Beginning to bring a tiny bit of movement into the body. Just notice, is the temptation to rigidify against the movement? Or can you keep this flow, this yielding quality as you move? Keeping the mind soft, heart soft, body soft. Remembering that what is soft is strong. Coming into bigger movements, opening your eyes when you're ready and bringing the formal practice to a close. Forming an intention to take this quality with us. This quality of yielding, flowing. And I'll just read the quote from Lao Tzu one more time. It's so beautiful. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is another paradox. What is soft is strong. Wonderful. Thank you all very much for sharing this yielding space, this soft, strong space together. And I really hope that you got a little taste of something that can encourage you in your daily life. You know, we're often so kind of embattled, as it were, thinking that that's the way to be strong. And it's so tiring to live like that. But, you know, if we can flow, that's where the real strength is. And it's less tiring. It's a much less tiring way of living because it's a more natural way of living. Because, well, there was that old saying, wasn't there, in the 60s, go with the flow, man. That is true. We need to learn how to do that. So I'm just going to read out some of the comments so that everyone can appreciate them. People who can't read the screen. So someone's reassured me that the pings were not loud at all from what we could hear, which is good to hear. Dorota, the poem is inspiring. Thank you very much for sharing it and for the soft space tonight. Yeah, I'll put that in the community practice, the poem. Betsy, thank you, Vidyamala, lovely. Ellen, thank you so much. Love the poem and the idea of softness being strong. Katie, that was amazing, visceral and replenishing. Thank you. Yeah, visceral and replenishing. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Lauren, thank you so much, Vidyamala, and thank you, Breathwork Sangha. These groups mean so much to me. Julie, lovely, thank you. The idea of yielding is helpful for me as I suffer with anxiety. Interesting. I can really get a sense of that. How? Because anxiety is a kind of a rigid state in my own experience. So to be able to release around it is helpful. Sophia, thanks for Jamala, lovely sit-in poem. Susan, love the poem and so very true. Marsh, thank you, that was lovely. I found myself in awe of my ever-yielding brain. Fantastic. Tracy, thank you, lovely night, feeling relaxed and calm. Ed, I had the most softening effect when I reminded myself of my experience in a float chamber and completely yielding myself to being surrounded by the gentlest of water. Yes. Gosh, I'd forgotten. I used to do flotation tanks about 30 years ago. I don't even know if they still exist as a thing. But you go right inside a kind of chamber and it's warm, salty water that completely supports your body. It is absolutely amazing. Janice, thank you, Vidyamala, and everyone for helping me to be embodied. Betsy, how do I join Breathwork Sangha? I got the Zoom link from Dana Maya. So, Ollie, if you could put the link for the community of practice. So the Breathwork Sangha means community, and it's this online platform. We've got tons of resources. So it's down there at the bottom now in the chat box. If you can't find it, if you go to the homepage of Breathworks, and one of the menus at the top is community of practice. So welcome. if you want to join. Yeah. And Maria Jose, thank you. Many thanks. I was so tired, I fell asleep. Good. And I hope you had a good sleep. Juanita, thanks for reminding me of the importance of accepting and yielding. Yeah, I really hope that supports you with your health challenges in hospital, Juanita. David, thank you for Jamala. Really helped soften my busy mind. Eileen, I love the fluidity and softness. I will use this as I was battling with a cough. Julie, thank you. Audrey, thank you so much. Love the poem as well as the beautiful practice. Lisa, thank you, Vidyamala. Softness is exactly what I need at the moment. A timely reminder. Maz, thank you. Lovely, soothing practice. Catherine, I am really going to focus on softening my brain. I had the most amazing feeling of expansion in my head tonight. An astounding release. Thank you. Yeah, that's fascinating because if you're like me, you know, your brain really can just feel like a lump of concrete sometimes, can't it? Just full of thoughts. But apparently your brain is more like tofu. It's kind of squidgy. And even just knowing that is very helpful, I think. It's not a kind of static organ. Well, no organs are static. And the brain has got this kind of tofu-like texture, apparently. Hazel, thank you. Maria, I found the image of the sponge soaking up awareness really helpful. A sponge also softens when it soaks up water. Of course, that is brilliant. Yes, you know, you have something that's quite hard and you stick it in water and it goes all soft and pliable and yielding. And I think we can have that experience in the body, and the body can feel a bit desiccated and dry, hard. Just imagine it's like one of these sponges we put in water and it just expands and becomes juicy. You know, we want the body and the heart and the mind to be juicy. Excellent. Okay, everybody. Well, I think we'll leave it there for tonight. Got one more quote. Thanks so much. Feeling very tender towards my body that's been pretty rigid today. I felt my whole body start to soften on each exhale and the flow. Fascinating. Good. So what else to say? We've got the Breathworks 20th anniversary party, which is very exciting, on the 20th, I think. Anyway, Ollie will put the link in. I will just check. Yeah, Wednesday the 20th. So it's next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, and the Zoom link will be on the community of practice. And we just really want loads of you to come, and we can just really celebrate our community and celebrate what Breathworks is bringing into the world, and probably tell a few funny tales from over the years. There have been some very funny times and silly times and crazy times. Yeah. So I hope you'll come. But before that, we've got next Tuesday. So we'll see you then. And there's the link that Ollie's put in for the party. So I'll just tell you now as well how to save the chat, because this is always a good little Zoom tip. Is if you, at the bottom of the chat, there's if you go to the right-hand side, there's 3 little dots. And you click on the 3 little dots and you've got a save chat option. I bet you wish I told you that a year ago. Better late than never. So that's helpful because we put these links in and then of course we close the room, and how are you ever going to find the links again? Well, now you know. So that's amazing little top tip there. And those of you who are on phones and tablets, I'm afraid it may or may not work. But there'll be some other way. If you go to the chat box, there's probably some other icon where you can save it. Okay, so let's all head off to our evenings or our mornings or our days or whatever. And please look after yourselves, everybody. Yeah. And thanks so much for coming. Oh, and as always, if you want to unmute yourselves and say goodbye, that's always nice. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye night, everybody.
Bye,
everybody.
everybody. Thanks, Vidyamala.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.